Hey everyone, Ryan here, representing Team Rhino. I wanted to make a video today about the program BitConnect. Um, I've been doing BitConnect for about almost 4 months, um, and it has been extremely profitable. It's all about investing with Bitcoin and lending out Bitcoin so that you earn a daily interest rate on whatever amount you have invested. So I want to explain a little bit about that today. Um, if you're not signed up, or if, with BitConnect, you can definitely click the link in the description and get signed up. There's nothing, it's easy to sign up. It's free, but that's the first step if you are interested in this. It makes roughly about 1% a day on average. Actually, more like 0.95, zero point 0.9, something like that. So, but I'll show you that more as we go. But I want to kind of just give you a little bit of a description of what it is, and also, and this is probably the most important piece of it, is explain how compound interest works, because that is the key to this entire program. If you sign up, you'll be on my team, Team Rhino. You're going to have access to a group chat to where all we do is talk about BitConnect and how to get started, how to grow your team. Tons of people on there, and that's what we do. That's what we're doing every day, is just trying to help people get started, answering questions, troubleshooting, all those things. The BitConnect program itself does have a great support team, but rather than waiting, 24 hours or so, I like to have a group chat where there's pretty much somebody always available on there for the most part. So people from all over the world. So let me go ahead and jump in here. I'm going to kind of give you an idea of how this works. I'm going to first go to the dashboard of the program. You can see here you've got three wallets: a lending wallet, a BitConnect wallet, and a Bitcoin wallet. So step one with this entire program is first to sign up. That's the easy part. The next part is to have some Bitcoin. And so the way that you can acquire Bitcoin is through mining, which a lot of people have done. If you're not familiar with mining, probably the another very or easy step is to go through an exchange. There's a lot of different exchanges out there, Bitcoin exchanges, to where you can buy Bitcoin with a credit card or a bank account, things like that. But what you want to do is buy some Bitcoin and then from your exchange, and then transfer it to this platform, and it will go into your BitConnect wallet. Once you have money in there, you're going to, and let me just show you real quick that there's different amounts that you can invest. So the minimum, and I'm going to focus probably more on the minimum investment today, because I think that's probably what most people are going to be able to do or willing to do. Obviously, if you can invest more, you're going to be able to make more sooner. But let me just show you. So $100 to $1,000 investment is a 299-day term. Now, what that means is you'll get that money back at the end of 299 days. You'll keep all the interest that you make every single day, but on day 300, the platform will actually send your initial investment back to you. You can do larger amounts, for instance, 1,010 to 5,000. If you do a deposit within those ranges, you get the daily interest plus an extra 0.1% each day. So that's a nice bonus. They only hold that money for 239 days. So on day 240, let's say you put in $2,000 to begin with. 240 days later, you'll have that. They'll give you that $2,000 back, and then it's up to you whether you want to keep that money or reinvest it so you continue to earn the interest. And again, there's bigger ones. If you go over 5,010, you get an extra 0.2 on top of the daily interest. That term's only 179 days. And then for those of you that want to put in a whole lot of money and make money a lot faster, $10,010 to 100,000, you get a bonus 0.25% each day, and that's only being held for 120 days. So these bonuses are nice, and I'm going to show you what they're actually added to, because these are all on top of the daily interest rate. So once you get $100 in there, you would just type in, or if it's 100, and it's going to tell you how many BitConnect coins we actually lend BitConnect. So before I jump in too fast, let me just show you what's going on here. So once you first transfer your Bitcoin into your Bitcoin wallet, you're then going to come to the BCC exchange. And And here is where we will actually buy BCC, and that's what this platform requires. So you would just put in whatever amount of Bitcoin you have. Will show, you can hit all, and it'll all show up here, like mine just did. And then it's going to tell you with that amount of money. This isn't very much, but just so you know what's going on, it's going to tell you you can buy this many BCC. So for my 0.002 Bitcoins, I can buy 0.078 BCC. And then I'm going to hit buy, and it's going to give me those, and it's going to fill in my BCC wallet with whatever amount that is. And then, like I showed you earlier, you're then going to come to the lend BitConnect, and if you're trying to do $100, you would just type in $100, and that's telling me that you need 0.879. So you would just, whatever amount you're trying to do, if you're trying to do $1,010, then you need 8.88 BCC. So that's all pretty easy. If you get hung up with that, definitely just shoot me a message, and we can, it's pretty easy to walk through with, once you get the hang of that. So this wallet, the lending wallet, you can see here that I have a lot of money in there, and let me just show you what it's all consisted of here. $492 of it is interest. It's interest that I've made over the past couple days. This 3,900 is level bonus. There is a referral part of this, but you don't have to do the referral to make money. This is just an added bonus. It's icing on the cake. You don't have to do that. And then this is just leftover amount, because when you do a investment, it has to be in a multiple of 10. So sometimes there's going to be leftover money. Say you have $18, you can only reinvest 10 of that, and so 8's going to be left over here, but you can always use it later. What I want to show you, so just to show you what I have here, I initially invested $7,000 a few months ago. I've reinvested quite a bit of that, and I now have $15,000 in here. I've earned, this is interest only, I've earned almost $12,000 so far. And at this point, with $15,000, I'm probably averaging about $150 a day with $15,000 in there from interest. I'm not, and like I said, there is a referral side to this that you can make a whole lot of money with as well, but you don't have to do it that way. That's what kind of brought my attention to this platform, is that you're able to make money without having to sign up a bunch of people under you. Now, if you want to go that route, like I just showed you, there's a ton of money to be made. Obviously, people have watched my videos and signed up under me, and really have started making their own profits within 24 hours. And so, very easy to do. The next thing I really want to talk to you about, because it's very important that you understand how compound interest works. And let me just show you a quote here. Wait, where'd it go? A quote by Albert Einstein. He says, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." Compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe. Okay, that's pretty powerful. And then he finally says, "Compound interest is the greatest mathematical discovery of all time." And what it does, basically what it is, for anybody that's investing in anything, compound interest is just the idea that you're having your money work for you. And I'm going to try to paint a picture for you with that. I created a spreadsheet that I think does a pretty good job of showing you. And if you sign up on my team, I'll definitely be able to get you a copy of this spreadsheet. So you'll have the group chat, the spreadsheet. But first, before I promote that, let me just show you what it does. So you put in whatever amount you want here. You can put $100, that's the minimum. You can put, $5,000 if you want. Whatever you want to do, but let's just start with 100, because I know most people are probably, if you're like me, you're probably a little bit skeptical. So you're like, gosh, I just want to start with 100, see what happens after a couple weeks, and then maybe invest more. So let's just start with 100. And my goal here is to show you what this is capable of over the course of 2 years. So $100, which is the minimum, and we're going to see what happens over 2 years. This next little box that you can enter is your interest rate. This is an average interest rate. And so you're probably asking, well, where do you get that number? Let me show you here. Let's go to, there's a volatility software interest, which is what's going on here. They are trading off Bitcoin each day. and paying out the interest. So you can see here the last few days, this is the interest rate that's been paid. So earlier I said 1%. Well, it's actually quite a bit more than 1% a lot of days. This was a down day, but all these days are great. If you look here, I like that they have these averages. So the last 30-day average is 0.95. The last 6 months, this is probably the most, probably the most accurate number here. The last 6 months is 0.91 percent each day. So like I mentioned earlier, if you have one of those, I'm going to X out of this real quick. If you have one of these larger amounts, so we'll just say 0.9 is the average, be a little conservative, and you had this amount invested, you would actually get 1% because 0.9 plus 0.1 is 1%. If you had a deposit of this amount, that would equal 1.1%. But just to stay conservative, we're going to keep it at 0.9. I think it's smarter when you're doing investments to stay more on the conservative side. That way, if it does make more, you're excited. It's very positive. If you were to speculate that it would make say 1.5% each day, well, you're going to be kind of disappointed because it could do that, but you're probably going to be disappointed because it's not going to be making as much as you expect. So I like to stay conservative. We'll say 0.9. And let me show you what's going on here. So we start with $100 invested, the average interest rate, and it could be 0.2 one day, it could be 1.5 one day, but we're just going to say that it averages 0.9 off $100. That's paying about 90 cents a day, and it's going to add up. So this is your lending wallet, which is what I showed you earlier. The lending wallet is right here. That's where all your money goes every single day, and it's going to start to add up as interest comes. And after it reaches $10, like I mentioned earlier, the minimum reinvestment or investment that you do has to be a multiple of 10. So on a reinvestment, let me show you that real quick. So if I want to lend BitConnect, the minimum I can do is $100. But once I have money in my lending wallet, I can do a reinvestment of just $10. So I could just put $10 in there, and it will let me invest that $10. So that's kind of nice. The reinvestment doesn't always have to be $100. So it could be, so $10 is nice. So let me show you how this works. So we add this up each day, getting paid an interest rate off of your $100, and all of a sudden you hit $10, $10.80, let's say. Then we reinvest the $10, and we have 80 cents left over. Now we're getting paid the daily interest rate off of $110. We let that add up again. So the first one took about 12 days. The next one is at day 22, so 10 days after that. Then we get another $10. We reinvest that. Now we're getting the interest rate off of $120. So that was at 22 days. The next one's at 31 days, so 9 days. So we went from 12 days to 10 days to 9 days. And as you'll see is that the amount of days between where we get $10 becomes less and less. So at 3 months, day 90, you can see here that it's only taken about 5 or 6 days for us to acquire another $10. But each time we get that $10, we got to reinvest it. This is what compounding looks like. You reinvest everything that you earn over time. And you can see here we're going to get to a 6-month mark, 180 days. We've now turned that $100 by reinvesting as often as possible into $470. That's now paying us about $4 a day. And if you see here, every 2 or 3 days, we can reinvest that $10, and we're just going to keep that going. So you can see these time frames get quicker and quicker as we grow this interest or this investment amount. Again, these interest rates are averaged, and so we're just going to let that grow. At the end of 1 year, so 1 year really isn't that long. At the end of 1 year, we've now reinvested every single dollar that we've made. Started with 100, we now have almost $2,500 in there, and we're getting paid the interest off of that, which is giving us a little over $20 a day, okay? And we're going to continue to reinvest that $20 a day. This number over here is if you were to just stop reinvesting and take this $20 and $22 a day and just cash it out every day and do that for the next 365 days. If you take $22 times 365, you'll have given yourself an $8,000 salary over the next year. So that's what this number is over here. That's if you're curious about that. But if we just let this grow, now we're getting $30 a day. We continue to reinvest it. What we're trying to do is grow this investment amount higher and higher. And it's really up to you how much you want to be making. So we have this first column here is how much we have invested. This third column here is how much it's paying out on average each day. So if you're happy with making 50 bucks a day, stop there. You don't have to reinvest anymore. Just stop there and cash it out each day. I've made videos. There's plenty of videos out there to show how to cash money out. It's a 4-step process, but once you do it a couple times, it's very, very easy. It really doesn't take long at all. But let's say you just started to cash out $50 every day. Do that for an entire year. That's $18,000 more dollars in your pocket just from this. You started with $100, and all you did was reinvest, and now you're making $18,000 more a year. But let's keep going. Let's have fun with this and see where it takes us. 2 years. 2 years is not a very long time. If if you're younger, you're in college, in high school even, you're probably thinking like 2 years is forever, but it really flies by. So at the end of 2 years, you've reinvested every single dollar. You now have $65,000 invested into this thing, into BitConnect, and you are earning an average interest rate of about 0.9. It could go higher, could go lower, but on average, 0.9. $587 a day. Let's say at that point you decide to stop reinvesting and you just want to cash out every single day from that point forward. You will have then paid yourself $214,000 in a year. That's crazy. That is some awesome, awesome money. One thing, and I'm going to show you this curve here because this is what it looks like. This is a 2-year curve, and this is starting with $100. You can see that the beginning is very, very slow. That's normal. That's how compounding interest works. We're on day, if you want to, in my mind, I want to get up into this area, right? This is where the money really starts rolling in. You're making $70, $80, $90 a day up here. But how do you get there? Look at this. This is day 365 right here, okay? If I go up here, that means we have about $2,500 invested. Well, if I just started with $2,500, this is where I would be on the curve, and within 1 year, I would be exactly where I want to be, right? So let's throw that in there. I'm going to play with some numbers here for just a minute. Let's throw 2,500 in there and see what happens at the end of 1 year. It's going to be we're going to have $65,000 in there. And we've just sped up the entire process. We went from 100 to 2,500, but we've sped up the entire process by a year. Now we're waiting 1 year, and we have $214,000 if we cash out every single day at that point. Now, if you want to let it grow, if you're like me and you're like, you know what, let's just look what happens if we let it grow for 10 more days. So from 365 days to 375 days, we've turned this 65,000 into 71,000. Now we're getting $640 a day. That's $233 a day. We've bumped, and by reinvesting 10 more days, we've bumped this up about $20,000. Okay, let's see what happens if we waited 1 extra month. So instead of day 365, we go to 395. This is gonna blow your mind. It blew my mind when I first started playing with it. So we go from now we bump that up to 80. We waited 1 more month. We now have about $85,000 invested. It's bringing in on an average interest rate of 0.9, $766 a day. Now we're up to $280,000. So by waiting 1 month, we bumped our earnings. If we, from that point forward, we bumped our earnings from $214,000 to $280,000. That is crazy. Like, that is a ton of money. And if you really want to get crazy with it, and I know some people are like, how is this even possible? But it really is. I mean, you can go down here and just see kind of what happens if you do this for 2 straight years. You're going to have $1 million invested, well over $1 million, and you're bringing in just more money than I could even dream of. So, and that's what a lot of people that's what people are doing. They're trying to, right now, because it's fairly new, they're trying to get this up to $100,000, because look what that does. It pays out about $1,000 a day. That's over $300,000 a year. Right now, I'm only at $15,000 invested, but I'm still making a lot of money with referral commissions. If you do that, if you get people signed up under you, you can speed up this entire process very, very quickly. because everything that you get from them is also going to show up in your lending wallet from commissions, and you can reinvest that even faster. So this is a great program, and I want to show you one more thing because it's kind of crazy. So, like I said, most people are probably going to only be able to start with $100. No problem with that, especially if you're skeptical. I always try to think of, what would I spend $100 on? What have I spent $100 on? A new outfit. Going out with friends for the weekend, or buying stuff that I probably shouldn't have in the first place, going out to eat for a couple weeks, all these things. You could easily save $100. But look what happens. So we talked about starting with 100, waiting 2 years, and you'll given yourself $65,000 invested, which will then create $214,000 at 365 days later. Watch what happens if we just double this. Doesn't seem like much, right? But $200 we reinvest as often as possible, and we're going to see what that does at the end of 2 years. Oh, sorry, too far. Now, instead of having $65,000 in here, we have $133,000 because we doubled our original investment. And at the end, if we start, we're making $1,200 a day, and that's $440,000 a year. So you can see how heavy, how strong this initial investment is. That's why people say if you're in any sort of investing or finance class and you're talking about retirement, that's why so many people say start to save for retirement as young as at the youngest age you possibly can, because it will compound upon itself, and that's what will set you up for future success. That'll allow you to retire early. We can just play with the number and watch what happens here. If we go to $300, look at this. It's gonna go up to $200,000, making $1,800 a day, $665,000 a year. We'll just keep playing with it, and you can see how this works. $400, $271,000 invested. Now again, remember, you've got to reinvest every single opportunity that you have until you get to this investment number that you want. 500 is a big number, and let me show you why. $500 is a startup. Reinvest it for every day for the next 2 years. You'll have $339,000 invested, making about $3,000 a day. If you stop at reinvesting at that point and cash that out every single day from that point forward, you will have given yourself a $1 million salary. That's crazy. That is life changing. That is, easily you're starting to consider retirement. You're paying off any debt. You're paying off your house. You're buying a bigger house. You're buying your dream car. You're going on vacations that you never thought possible. So that is how this works. And if you sign up, the link is in the description. You're going to join my team by doing that. Team Rhino. You're going to you'll be able to get this spreadsheet. You're going to be able to join a group chat. I've got a website that walks through tutorials, kind of tells you a little bit about my journey, all kinds of things. So, hope that you'll get signed up. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, or there's email in the description where you can ask. Or like I said, sign up and join the chat, and we can answer things really a lot faster that way. So, there's a lot to this program because of the different currencies involved. But if you have any questions, we're here to help you. But at the end of the day, you might as well get started. It's $100. You can see what I've done. If you're skeptical, don't do it, But if you're just curious and you don't want to miss out, and maybe it will, turn into something huge, like I've shown you, which has been great for me so far and my family. We've paid off school loans. We remodeled our shower. We're redoing or we're putting in a new closet. I mean, just crazy stuff that I never thought we'd be able to possibly do this fast. So again, at the very least, put $100 in and just let it ride. If you're willing to do more, let me tell you this too. It is cryptocurrency. Um, you, anything with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, you have to consider it high risk. So the amount that you invest is really up to you. I would always say invest what you're comfortable with. Um, don't invest more than you're comfortable with. You don't want to invest, you know, so much that when you go to sleep at night you can't sleep because you're just concerned that something's going to happen, and you're not going to make the money that you hoped for, and your money's just going to go away. If that's the case, you're probably investing too much. That's not what I want for anybody. So only invest. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only just telling you what I've done and showing you this platform, how it works, what it's capable of. But it's really completely up to you. Like I said, you get to start, it's $100. If you want to go more aggressive, you have the option to do that as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. Follow me. I've got a lot more videos on my journey. But again, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. All right, bye-bye.